Hello everyone, this is John for PokerVIP.com, and in this video we are continuing on with the epic TonyBet series, which is going to see 24 parts in total. And the whole point of it is to show you how to approach a new site that offers soft games, high rakeback, high returns, no hoods, and playing against lots of recreationals, especially against lots of people who play using their Android or iOS, which you can basically tell if they have this little phone logo next to their name. And as you can see, most people on the tables now use it because it is such a good app. So make sure you download that from the App Store or from TonyBet Poker. What's this little thing? Oh, the button. Okay, so I've just noticed as well, they've changed the felt in the background. I'm making this the day the Olympics starts. So you can see it's track and field. And the button has turned into the Olympic torch, which I think is a pretty nice touch. I know they did something similar for the Euro football. So I know they like to change it up, which is a good thing, by the way, because it shows that they're putting effort into it. A lot of sites, their software gets, old pretty quick. They seem not to care. They don't invest. But TonyBet are really showing their worth, really, by continuing on by, just improving and making things just more enjoyable and player friendly, which is always such a huge win in this, like I say, world where that doesn't really seem to happen. And I think looking at their phone app, they've spent a fortune. Because like I said, I mean, look at the tables. 2 people on the bottom left, 3 people top left, 4 people top right, 4 people bottom right. That's how many people are playing on their phones. So, I have like 24 people, about 17 or 18 are playing on their Android or iOS. I'm playing on my PC, so I think I've got an edge over them. I'm more concentrated, I can pull up notes quicker, I would say. And, I think when you're just looking at 4 tables compared to being on your phone, maybe watching TV, maybe, sat next to a partner or a friend, then it may not be as easy for them. 6-9 off's going to go into the bin. And yeah, this series, we're just going to talk about every hand, and we're just going to play it, as we would, as a good full-time, semi-pro, whatever grinder would do. It's just all about trying to make the most money. Lots of folds so far in the first 2 minutes. King 8 suited I folded there from mid position. Maybe could have opened. I like to play looser on this site. I like to be in more hands basically. People are just very bad overall. So, you can really abuse them post-flop and even pre-flop. But I don't think it's a big error folding it. Certainly King 9 suited. Definitely King 10 suited plus. Should be open there. Obviously watching the pots develop as well. Always a good thing. Like we see Ernesto open, we see him check bet flop, check back turn. We've seen Tiger, check call, check. Always just noticing what they do. He now leads pot, which is pretty interesting. So he's trying to polarize his bet. He's either going to have the nuts or nothing. He does absolutely have the nuts. And oops, that's the wrong one. I meant to go on hand history. Not too sure if we'll be able to see what the guy had. Well, he actually got called by ace high there. So Ernesto really wasn't believing him. I'm not too sure I like that call, even though the bet's polarized. I'd have to have some good notes on that player saying that he's capable of bluffing there for me to go ahead and do it. Bottom left table, I called. We could always 3-bet 5-6 suited as well. And as you can see, someone has shipped in 70 big blinds behind us. So this guy obviously just wants to go broke quick. If you've seen previous parts, there's lots of players who just want to double up or go broke. And this happens quite a lot. And lots of people might be like, yeah, but it's not real poker, it puts me off. No, this is absolutely what you want. You want to be playing people who don't respect the money, who just want to, go hard or go home. You just need to play accordingly. Massive pot on the river on top right here. I had a jack, so I blocked a couple of straights, but wow, it's gone call and call. Ace, jack, jack 9, and I had a jack in my hand as well. How sick is that? Gonna go ahead and squeeze the King 10, and I'm now going to start betting the King 8. I called a raise pre-flop with a King 8. Flop top pair. It went check, and then I bet the 10 turn. A pretty terrible river here, which I'll go ahead and check fold. Deuces I'm fine to check, out of position against 3 players. King 10 here, I'm just going to go ahead and bet, and no doubt I will be betting a good couple of streets here with the King 10. Because I was going to say he's probably going to call pretty much everything on this flop, but instead he's jammed. What's he going to have? Over pairs and flush draws is pretty much what he's going to have, but King 10 we can't call, and deuces are going to fold. So a bit of a game, this 5 and L1 so far. I can't believe that ace, jack, jack 9, and I had a jack in my hand. We should maybe call that this part of the video blockers don't mean shit. And jack 9 we're going to call. Seems like the 10 and L table's really soft as well today. Lots of limping. Going to go ahead and isolate bottom right. Again, isolation. The reason we want to be doing it is we get action heads up versus a weak player. And we also just get them to fold a lot. Here we got cold call by from the small blind and he's led half pot on an ace a6. I think our best play here is to just fold. Sevens, play a limp. This guy ISO'd. I could re-ISO, but sevens is like not strong enough, not weak enough to do that. So I just wanted to call in position. I think I'm going to call this flop. Not ideal when you're multi-way, but certainly think he can just be, you know, c-betting quite wide there. Going to c-bet my ace, queen, fold my king 3, and the 6-7 I'm not going to isolate because this guy only has 15 big blinds. I'm going to bet my sevens now. He might be check raising, might be check calling, but the main thing here is if he's not, I need to protect my hand. You know, or if he's drawing, I need to get value from my hand. Gonna fold. Check here with the ace queen. Make 2 pairs. Now I'm just gonna go ahead and bet. I don't want to go too big. Sevens is pretty interesting. I don't know if I need to turn my hand into a bluff. I think I have some good showdown value versus hand like 10 jack. Maybe he check called with like 2 diamonds, or maybe he even ace-eyed me. So I'm just going to check here and hope to win. Suddenly he has 10s. I'm not too sure I can get him to fold that, but I think we had enough showdown value there to just, you know, check, go to showdown, and win. You know, pretty often. 6-7 suited, raising under the gun. It's a bit wider than I would normally open. But like I say, I just like to get in the streets with these guys. I like to play lots of pots and, you know, basically I just open my ranges up by like 2-3% each position. Get the aces, just going to play them like I play everything else and start off by raising. And sadly get no action there. 6-7 we flop a double gutter. Would be so much nicer if there was at least 1 spade on that board. But nonetheless, it is a good flop for us to go ahead and c-bet. Because if we hit, it'll be disguised. We build a nice big pot. And if people fold, then that's awesome as well. But we've been shipped on. So I think one adjustment we need to make on this table is just understand that this player is going to go all in a lot. You know? Simple as that. Stanshire, you know, goes all in a lot. So when we bet, we have to be prepared that we're going to bet fold and maybe lose equity with a hand like this. Or when we bet, we are going to be like, okay, I'm betting and I'm calling. And we just have that clear plan mapped out. For now, though, we're just going to fold, of course. So Stanshire, I mean, just... yeah, I mean, he's going to go broke, of course. It's just inevitable that he's going to ship it in. He might get lucky a couple of times. But obviously that's not a playing style which will work. Getting a good price here for the Queen 9, so I'm going to go ahead and call. Flop pretty bad. Going to go for a check. Yeah, please leave any comments as well. And please leave a star rating review. Always nice. And I'm checking the meal for 2, top right. And Queen 9, we're just done with that hand. You know, I keep wondering like how good it would be to start like stabbing in spots like this with the 6-9. Just, you know, just trying to take down the pots. But I think it's still better to just give up. Like multi-way on those kind of runouts, you know, when the pots are so small. A6 I'm just going to call in position. And I'll be floating this flop. You know, floating the flop because, well, I have ace high and it might be the best hand. Or 2, I might turn the best hand with an ace or possibly a 6. Or, you know, a gut shot might develop. Once he checks, I'm certainly going to bet. I think he might check call a lot here with an ace, so if I'm betting this turn, I'm going to bet the river as well. You know, even if we hit or we miss, like whatever the river is, I would go ahead and bet. Because I just feel like he's going to have some like ace kings, ace jacks, maybe some flush draws, you know. Maybe some like weaker 1 pairs, 1 pair gut shots, stuff like that. I'm going to go ahead and 3-bet the jack queen versus the under the gun open. He just seems like a weak player, so I don't mind targeting him with a hand like this. We're going to go ahead and c-bet. Ace Jack going to bet strong. Very wet flop. Top pair, top kicker. Just want to get protection, get value. Jack Queen, the c-bet works. You know, it's very weird, like, when you're playing weaker players. Some are so sticky, like, some just never fold. But then there's so many of them, and I think that's basically, like, quite TonyBet-ish, who just fold. Like, they literally just, like, what's it called? What's it called? Hit or fold, I think is, like, what people say. You know, if they hit, they continue. If they don't, they fold. So I think that's quite indicative of these players. King 5, I'm going to continue betting here, even though we have a weak king. Just because I think he's going to have more flush draws and tens. Being 3-bet really small here from Bondilo. Don't know anything about him, but he's on the phone. So we're just going to call with tens. Very strong hand, but not like, you know, don't want to stack with it against an unknown. Don't want to turn it into a bluff. And I think, yeah, I'm going to have to fold facing this sizing out of position. Falls we call and we brick. Jack Queen we open, get 2 called, a swap a gut shot, so I'm certainly going to go ahead and bet. Especially when it's a king high flop, which I can represent. Also have that backdoor jack high flush draw. Or should I say running jack high flush draw. So lots of cards we can go ahead and just like continue to bomb with on the turn. Or, you know, check turn, get there on river type thing. Lots of nice redraws versus a king. Big pot going on there. 7 versus a 7. I always think you should just ship that river, rep the 7-9. Pretty dangerous, but sometimes when you know like there's just no 7-9s in their range, then it's a good play to make. Jacks here, we are going for a squeeze. I think just over 5x against 2 opponents with a hand like Jacks is the best way. Get a snap call by Rockus Ned, who's going to have a seriously weak hand. A seriously weak hand might contain a raggy ace though, so what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to check, and hope he stabs and bets. And I do leave myself open for him hitting like a straight or a king or a queen, but I'm basically just wanting to induce a bluff from this guy because I feel he is so weak. So yeah, it'll just be like a snap on the river. And there we go, we take it down, guys. Just like that, and that's just an experience thing, honestly. Like, so many people just play really bad in those spots. I know I can't get anything from him. I just want to, you know, let him do it. And you have that plan and you stick with it. Always got to stick with it. And as you can see, he's reloaded for, like, his bankroll, which is just, you know, it just happens all the time on TonyBet. People literally just have their rolls in play. They go crazy. And, you know, they go home sometimes. But, you know, it's a clear line of thinking. You know, like, I'm ready to snap call. And, like, if you have that in your mind, you think you're going to be snap calling, like, oh, the poor guy, and then he gets unlucky. Like, you assume they're going to bet, like, half pot or 2/3 pot, but then they overbet jam by, like, 50% of the pot. And it's like, oh, do I change my mind? No. It was a legit way of thinking. It's going to work. We have to stick to our guns, and we have to go for it. 4-5, I make a pretty loose peel versus a half stacker. Turns, flops 60% of a straight flush, though, so I'm just going to check and take the free one. Turn a gut shot here. I think I'm just going to start betting because I'm not going to win with 5 high on showdown. Going to isolate the ace-9 and going to raise the ace-10. And nice, we take it down. It's always good to bet when you can't win. Once you get called by 2 in the isolation pot, it's just going to be a check fold. Ace-10 I decide to float. And I think I have to fold now. 9-10 suited, a really nice hand to play. Ace-9, we check it down, the guy hits a 7 sadly, but this guy, so I isolated and this guy called 5-6 off and this guy overcalled ace-7 off. I mean, it's a glorious day, guys. It's a glorious day to be alive. 9-10 suited flop, second pair, backdoor flush draw, backdoor straight flush draw. Get a check to control the size of the pot. Great turn card for us there, makes it less likely he has a king. Going to start off by betting half pot. Because I actually feel he's going to have like more draws, more jack queens, more sixes than he is going to have like kings or hands that beat me. Interesting that it now leads the river. He potted it last time he had a strong hand. And now he's changing his sizing. I think we just have to call here. And if he has a flush, so be it. He does have... Wow, he had a lot. Interesting. I think the call's okay though. he's repping a flush. But you know, we had that little read from before. Basically, we had that small read that he pots with the nuts. So when he doesn't pot, I think it's fine to call. Kings we open, get 2 callers. Really good safe lot for us. Hopefully going to get some money in here. Face a lead. And I think we can just go ahead and raise here, because I think he's going to chase draws. I think he's going to call with pairs. So I just want to get money built into the pot. Always sucks when they just go ahead and fold. But like I say, on this site, a lot of people chase, lots of people can't fold. And sigh, he folded. And I kept it small. I was just trying to milk him. Just didn't work that time. Not too sure what hands he's going to show it there. Open King 6 on the button. I mean, maybe a bit too loose. But once we're in that spot, we're going to go ahead and start trying to win the pot, basically, with the C-bet. Didn't work. Maybe got punished there for a loose open. 8-10 suited, I go ahead and 3-bet, flop a flush draw. Going to go ahead and C-bet just over half pot. And then we'll give him the 1-2-3 treatment, just bet, jam. Like, pretty much with whatever. King Jack suited, flop top pair flush draw. Obviously a monster, and we face a pot side lead by Svetsas. This could be one of those spots where raising is better than calling. Against 2, I'm going to raise. You know, let's just get some money in. Going to go ahead and raise the ace-king. 7-8 we're going to raise. 6-8 we're going to check. Not a good turn card because we might lose some action versus flush draw, so I'm going to keep it really small and just try and allow him to chase. He's jammed. I don't like this at all. I mean, he's going to have some full houses, but he could also just be spazzing with like a worse king. But, you know, people do play full houses like this, sadly. But I don't think we can ever afford this hand once we've bet it. Yes, I make squads. Yeah. Okay, so this is a really good spot. I'm going to go ahead and raise with my flopped nuts and redraw. I assume he's going to have 2 pair or a set when he's done this. Okay, he folds. Interesting. Did not expect that. So that hand is pretty annoying with the King Jack suited. I mean, like, once he calls the flop, he's repping pretty strong. Once he check jams turn, he's repping strong. But then you got to think, why would he do that with a full house? People do dumb shit. So I think once you bet it, you just got to call with a hand that strong and assume that they're going to be spazzing with like worse kings. Because remember, he didn't 3-bet pre-flop. They're going to be spazzing with flush draws, or he could just be one of these idiots who's like overplaying a 9, which I see a lot on this site. So I wouldn't say it's like a misstep. It's just one of those things. We had some outs. We had a king, a jack, or was there a 9 out there? We had some outs. Love the track and field felt. So I think that's probably like the only misstep in like the last couple of parts. That will happen though. Ace Jack here. I'm actually just going to opt to 3-bet. I think it's better than calling, and I think it's slightly better than folding in a 5-handed 6-max game. Ryan is a reg. I think he's a good solid reg, although he's playing on his phone and he's multi-tabling, so I'm not too sure how easy that will be for him. God, I tell you what, he put that 4-bet in fast, didn't he? So we're going to muck it and get out of the way of that one. We are going to muck and get out of the way. Queen 7 I open. Actually going to check here to pot control and induce and try and get turn and river value. It's going to be very hard for me to get like 3 streets of value there. I'm just going to half pot it and then I'll half pot any river. 6-3, I'm going to check. I now get raised, which is really random, like 9s, a 5, queen 9. I mean, possibly, but yeah, just never folding. Obviously, top pair and a flush draw. And then I think river will be a call as well a lot of the time here. Which it is. Because it just doesn't make enough sense. Sadly, he did check that 5 and he had that 5, so he was just playing very straight up and honest. And just like, yep, I'll check my 5, I'll trap, then I'll go for bombing value. Shame we didn't hit the club to punish him, but I think we just have to call. He is repping houses, trips, 2 pairs. We block a good portion of that. He didn't re-raise pre-flop. So I think we just have to go ahead and make that call. 3-bet the jacks, get a king high flop. Against lots of people, this would be scary. Against this guy, not so much. So I'm just going to go ahead and start off by betting. We can also check there, pot control, whatever. But for now, folding is good. So we've really been max valued in 2 spots. Don't like that happening to me. You know, definitely don't want to be the guy who's like easy money. But, you know, luckily like some of our snap calls and bluff catchers before worked. And again, like on sites like this, don't let it neglect you. Like some days you will get battered, some days they will show up with like the top of their range every time. Just remember the long run. It's all about the long run. Gonna check the 4s against 3 opponents. Not a very bad flop for us. This guy's over potted it. Really is strange. Nice spot here with the aces. Normally I'd go ahead and 4x this. Wow, he's actually raised. That's cool. I was going to say normally I'd go ahead and 4x this, but I was just going to 3x it because I have aces and I want action. I'm still going to go ahead and 3-bet him, and I've kept it pretty small, give him a pretty good price to go ahead and call. And now, yeah, we're just going to hopefully stack this guy in his first hand. I'm just going to bet really small to start, because he should, in theory, have not a lot. So I'm just trying to like bet small, you know, draw him along, punish him, all that good stuff. So maybe we won't stack him, but we might get a few big blinds out of him. Ace 3, I'm going to go for a check call. He check calls again pretty quick. I think he's actually just got a king. So now I'm just going to like bomb really big. And just assume he's going to call me like so often. If he jams, I'll call. Like, you know. Fair enough. I think this guy's hearing me because he knows I'm a poker VIP coach. So I'm just going to bet my ace again here. And we do get called by Darius, who I bet had king 10 or king jack. He actually had 10s. Wow, we got a lot of value off that guy. Get a call here. Pretty sure the ace 3 is good. Yeah. Ryan, I just don't think he's going to fold to me because he knows I'm a coach. Or I'm pretty sure he knows I'm a coach. And he had pocket 3s. It's not a good call, bro. That is not a good call. I wish a 3 fell. A little 3 on the river to punish the guy. It's pretty crazy. I mean, I've been called by 10s over here, 3s over here. And it's serious money that's been made, guys. Like, they're not small pots. 868. So over 30 big blinds. What was it over on this one? Pretty sure it was even bigger than that. 136 big blinds. I mean, it's madness. Like, they are not anything to be sniffed at. A6, we're going to go ahead and fold. Big pot going on here. I had a 3. I blocked the straights. Or is Ryan just tilting? Probably not. Okay, this guy now lead jams. What the hell does he have? He calls the raise, then lead jams when everything bricks. Literally everything bricks. I really want Ryan to call this. Desperately. I want to see this hand at showdown. Makes no sense at all. Literally 0 cents. Come on, Ryan. He's 3-betting on this bottom left table. I've got to fold my 7s, sadly. It would have been nice to have peeled. Try and flop the set. Ooh, that would have been an interesting flop. King 7, we're just going to check. Is everyone watching this really hoping Ryan calls? Damn, he folded. What the hell did these guys have? What do these guys have? I'm gonna give him a couple of question marks. See if he answers. I doubt he will because he's on his phone. But it would be nice to know. Ryan, if you're watching, leave the comment. Quite a lot of people do chat on this site. It's kind of like a Sky Poker vibe. And by the way, guys, Tony G actually plays on here. There was someone in the forum, Jeff147, who grinds TonyBet. He was playing Tony G, playing 50NL, which is pretty cool. Jack Queen again. You can definitely, fold this hand under the gun, but I do like to just play slightly looser. I've been punished by the looks of it. A small 3-bet, which I'm always going to peel, and now I'm getting a very good price to peel against 2, so we could get into some trouble here. Quite often, we could just fold this, but we know Bondilo is a weak player, so I don't mind going to a flop here, even out of position versus him, even with Ryan behind. I say that now when it comes like queen high and I get put in the tough spot, then it's gonna be something else. We're just gonna fold. Ryan's taking no shit. Gonna go ahead and 3-bet here with the Jack Queen in position. Nice hand to 3-bet with, obviously. Ernesto's a reg. I'm pretty sure he knows I'm a coach for VIP as well. Pretty sure he made a comment about that once. Queen 4 suit, I go for the check call. That's right, I go for the peel. I'm going to go for the check fold on this board. He checks, which is interesting. I'm not too sure what he would check there. A 6 or a 9, maybe? Gonna just bluff catch, I think, here. Being 3-bet by Bondilo again. I mean, he just 3-bets all the time. I'm gonna go ahead and call because it's small. With a hand like ace high. Just go with it if we hit anything. But we don't, so we're gonna fold. But yeah, Bondilo, again, he's just one of those guys who just desperately wants to go broke. Gonna go for the squeeze here. I mean, squeeze, 4-bet, whatever you want to call it, and just get it in. I mean, we could be crushed, but I mean, we have queen 6-handed on TonyBet versus a guy on his phone who has shown he's liable to just get loads of chips in. Even if Puskinas calls, I'm in. Like, I've got to call any tick. Let's go. I'm not ever putting 270 in and then folding to a jam with a hand like queens in this spot. I don't like how quick he jammed though. Okay. We need a queen. That's a shame. I like that Puskinas called with the 9s. That makes me happy. At least I was getting some value. Just a cooler. You know, queens is whatever. Hey VIP, what is it? I'm wondering what. Oh no, it's taken the action away. This is interesting. Kings, I mean, is a straightforward raise. King Queen, I think I can actually go for a squeeze here, which I have. Nice. Now the guy's tilted and shoved. We're just gonna go for the flat. I mean, it really doesn't make a difference. And we ran into the old ace 3. Said he's hit an ace though. King. That's a shame. Ryan had 5-3 of hearts in that hand. He had a pair, of straight draw, and a flush draw. That makes sense. That is probably one of the only hands that makes sense. Probably shouldn't have been in the pot with 5-3 of hearts though. But yeah, I don't know why he was tanking the river. I mean, that would be one serious hero call. So yeah, a couple of bad hands on the top right table. Queens into kings and then kings into ace 3. But again, never let it get you down. I'm pretty sure we're still up on this session. Or it's pretty close. Maybe not. Maybe we're down like €5 or something. But that rake back. We got that rake back. This Puskinas is like, nah, I'm going broke. Fuck you all. Just going to raise every pot massive. Ship it all in. And then, yep, just overbet jams the flop. And gets it through. Good for you, Puskinas, who's 26 years old and from... Does it say where people are from when you hover over this? Maybe not. No. Sounds a bit Lithuanian, though. Now he's limping. Now he is limping. Magic. Yeah, TonyBet's awesome. I know I say that so often, but I just think they've got it so right, and I hope that it just becomes so big. Like, you know, it deserves so many players. Like I say, the rewards are honestly insane. I think averaging, people are getting like 70% with the deposit bonus, the reloads, their rake race, our rake race, the weekly rake back. You know, it's really working out well for lots of people. Looking in the lobby as well, lots of games running. Lots of games running. 4-5 are going to murk. Ryan grinds this as well, like 24/7. He really never stops. Ernesto's on a lot as well. Then there's like a guy called like One Tony. So there are some regs who are making some serious money off this site. You know, they'll be winning at 5 to 10 BB100 overall. Like, just sick. Like, crushers. But anyway, on that note, we're going to call it a video because we're in no hands. So it has been emotional, guys. We got into some interesting spots. We made an epic hero call, and we made a couple of failed hero calls. But it will be what it'll be. Wow, 10 Jack versus Ace King there. Bondillo just went mental. Okay, so yeah, pretty interesting. Leave some comments, leave some questions, and I'll be back for the next part. Good luck, goodbye, and I will see you later.